El Dorado, the lost city of gold. Somewhere in South America, hidden by centuries of jungle and neglect, a great metropolis is buried beneath the earth. Its streets are overgrown with vines, its palaces reclaimed by the forest, its golden temples half crushed by the canopy. It is said that gold gleams at the roots of giant trees and in the glint of a butterfly's wing. For over 500 years, the rumor of El Dorado has lured explorers into the heart of the wilderness, driving them to uncover its secrets. But what if we were to tell you that you could experience this lost world without ever leaving your home? In this series, we'll bring you the most spectacular sights from all around the globe, showing you what they looked like in their heyday and how they might have appeared when first discovered by modern eyes. We'll take you back to the places that have fascinated us throughout history and reveal just what made them so captivating. So join us as we explore the fascinating stories behind the legends of yesterday. Today we explore El Dorado, the lost city of gold. Where is El Dorado? This question has echoed through the halls of academia for generations. Is there even such a place as El Dorado? Or is it merely a myth, perpetuated by overactive imaginations and a healthy dose of greed? These questions still linger today, more than 500 years after the legend began. But let's get to the bottom of it, shall we? Let's begin at the beginning. Our story starts in the 16th century when the Spanish began exploring and conquering Central and South America. One Spanish conquistador named Pedro de Heredia stumbled upon an indigenous tribe covered in gold ornaments. They called this place the Golden Country, and it was the first rumor of El Dorado, which translates from Spanish to the Golden One. What these early explorers were actually witnessing was the ritualistic adornment of the Muisca people, who had been living in the area for thousands of years. However, word got back to Spain that there was a whole city made of gold somewhere in South America, and soon enough, explorers were setting out to find it. The Spanish crown commissioned a search, one that would become the obsession of three men: Gonzalo Jiménez de Quesada, Francisco Pizarro, and the infamous Sir Francis Drake Quesada. Led the first expedition into the jungles of Colombia in 1536, but he never found any trace of the fabled city. He did, however, stumble across the lost city of Zamos, but even he believed it was just a poor imitation of El Dorado. When Pizarro heard rumors of the city's riches, he abandoned his plans to conquer Peru and set off to find the Golden City instead. Again, there was nothing to be seen but thick jungle and angry locals, until he reached the ruins of Machu Picchu. At this point, both men had wasted years and countless lives searching for the city, and neither had found anything except disappointment. It was then that Sir Francis Drake decided to join the hunt. He sailed along the coast of Colombia in 1586 and landed near modern-day Panama. While there is little evidence that Drake actually set foot on land, he did name a cape after the city, which only encouraged others to keep looking. Where did the legend begin? So we know that the legend began with the discovery of the Muisca people and their affinity for gold ornaments. But the idea of a great golden city may have been a misunderstanding of a much older legend. According to some scholars, the earliest tales of El Dorado can be traced back to the 14th century, when the Inca Emperor Pachacati built a new capital. He wanted the city to be built in the center of the empire, so he ordered his engineers to find the exact geographical center of the Inca lands. They never found the center, but they did discover the Valley of the Sun, a place filled with natural gold deposits. Pachacati declared the valley to be the center of the universe, and he built his capital there. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, they found the Incas adorned with gold ornaments, and the Spaniards quickly assumed that the entire Inca Empire was made of gold. This assumption was only bolstered when the Incas offered them gold in exchange for horses, only adding fuel to the fire of El Dorado. So where is it? As of yet, no one knows for sure whether El Dorado ever existed, at least not in the way that it was rumored, but several locations have been proposed and excavated over the years. One of the more popular theories claims that the lost city was located in the modern-day country of Venezuela. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that the first rumors of the city came from the conquistadors who explored the area. Additionally, there are many ruins in the region that could potentially be the lost city. However, none of them have been proven to be El Dorado. Another theory claims that the lost city was actually a mirage. According to this theory, the conquistadors were so obsessed with finding gold that they imagined the city and then saw a mirage that confirmed their belief. There is some evidence to support this theory, as mirages are common in the deserts of South America. However, it is unlikely that all of the explorers would have seen the same mirage. More recently, some researchers have claimed that the lost city was actually a real place that just hasn't been discovered yet. They believe that the Incas deliberately hid the city from the Spanish and that it is still out there waiting to be found. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and it remains just a theory. Is there anything left? Even though the lost city has never been found, there are still some artifacts from the era that give us a glimpse of what life was like when the Spanish arrived in South America. For example, There are numerous pieces of gold jewelry that were found in the area. These pieces are now in museums around the world, and they show the skill and artistry of the indigenous people. Additionally, there are also some ruins that may have belonged to the lost city. However, these ruins are in such poor condition that it is impossible to say for sure what they once looked like. While El Dorado may never be found, the search for the lost city has already yielded some fascinating discoveries. Who knows what lies beneath? Perhaps one day the lost city will be found, and we will finally learn the truth about El Dorado. Or maybe the legend will continue to live on in our imaginations. What do you think? Do you believe that El Dorado was real, or is it just a myth? Let us know in the comments below.